Good evening, Free Enterprise fans, and welcome to the final game of ZZ6. This is Game 5 of the finals. I am not your commentator for tonight, but I am just here to kind of just say thank you. I want to thank all of our wonderful runners. We had, as we were talking about here, we had 14 groups of four groups of 14 to start off. We had so many awesome volunteers. Just so much hard work put in. All the viewers that have come out, both on the Twitch side and the YouTube side, y'all are fantastic. And just thank you to the event team for putting on such an awesome event. I'm not going to take too much of y'all's time, but I just could not in good conscience not come out and say thank you. Thank you to all of you so much. You are what keeps this community going, and I am so thankful and blessed to y'all. And for now, I am going to throw it over to your actual commentators tonight, Organ, Mike, and NG Dave.
Thank you for that intro, Ali. As Ali said, I'm NG Dave. I'm joined on the Mike site by Organ Mike. We have Roddy Sniper pushing the buttons. Antidel rolled this wonderful seed for our runners. How are you doing, Mike?
I am doing well tonight, Dave. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. So we got some vanilla to start this off, don't we?
It looks like it could be interesting. Yeah, we've got Dark Knight Cecil as our hero. We've got, as usual, throughout the tournament, we've had Kokol forging the Legend Sword of the Adamant as one of the goals. We've got 8 goals, 6 of them have to be completed. 2 of them are in Baron Castle, 2 in the Town of Monsters, 2 requiring the Hook, and of course, Cave Magnus.
Then, given that we have Cecil as our hero, we are all here prepared to forge a Caliburn.
And I'm sure we'll probably be seeing a play to mount Ordeals at some point.
Especially if either runners trips over something good like, Light Sword, an Avenger, even a Defense Sword.
Here, seeing from chat, the fixed objective requires 2 key items. Absolutely, the Legend Sword and the Adamant. The other objectives, not a whole lot. I've seen the Baron Key obviously required. The Hook, Falcon, and for launch the Falcon and trade away the Rat Tail, which obviously needs Rat Tail. We need underground access to get to the Town of Monsters. We need a Harp to complete Cave Magnus. Nothing on the moon.
Nothing on the moon until the moon holds our Hook and, say, our Baron Key.
It's entirely possible. So it'd be interesting. This is Game 5 in the best of 5. We've come right down to the wire for this final, the Highway to the Zemus Zone 6 tournament. So these 2 runners have been putting on a heck of a show so far.
Yes, to those who may not have tuned into the rest, Pankraz took Game 1, and then in a doubleheader last Sunday, John took Games 2 and 3. And a few days ago, Pankraz took Game 4 to bring us where we are right now.
And here we are, indeed. Just waiting for these runners to get going. What are you hoping to see for this seed, Dave?
Oh, we have no free bosses. I want to see a DKC at King holding the darkness with 4 objectives gated behind it, just to see how our runners have handled that.
Ooh, that would be fun. Or maybe trying to think of where we might find a key item that's not on that list. Could be Zot, could be any of the altars on the moon. It'd be interesting if both the Hook and the if the Hook, the Harp, and the Baron Key were all on moon altars.
I like it.
Could have Legend Sword at Cave Bahamut and the Adamant behind the Queen at the Town of Monsters, just for randomness sake. And it looks like we are on our way here. Cecil is going to be traveling with a bard. As a bard myself, I approve.
So we have our hero. We have our hero and his traveling band and his traveling minstrel. Very heroic start.
Every good hero needs a traveling minstrel to go with them. Who else is going to sing the tunes?
Who's going to tell the tales of your heroic deeds?
Exactly. As one of the other games I play points out, if you haven't got a bard in your party, you'll have no one to sing at your funeral.
That's a little dark, but sure.
It actually says if you don't have a bard or a thief, you'll have no one to sing at your funeral or steal flowers for your grave. Anyway, we're off. We've got John entering the wrong side of Mist. Not looking to cash in that package right away, I don't think. And Pankraz headed to Damsian, looking, I think, anticipating launching the hovercraft. There are two quests that require that hook, so launching the hovercraft is probably not a bad idea.
That dancing dagger out of the basement, real good for our runners. That will make our bard useful.
Anything that makes a bard useful. As a bard myself.
Good amount of strength here in Mist, but not checking the package.
With that hero, you might. The package is a long check, though, so if it's a really worthwhile... Yeah, there we go. It's Rydia. Vanilla Rydia.
No, I don't. No, it's not worth seeing through package for Rydia. Not right now, anyway.
Well, at least we know. Could be interesting if, say, that was Mist Dragon hiding the Baron key or something after that package, but... Pankraz going to check the back of Mount Hobbs to see what character is there, while John does the looting at Damsian.
Both our runners will have a dancing dagger.
And we have
that,
Rosa and
that, however,
Caldera.
very worth it.
There we are. Though this could be a challenging fight.
We have a few Thor rages. Could be 2 Thor rages and you're done.
And there's half of them gone, and the other half. And queuing up a third one just in case. Nope, there we go. Pankraz completed that Caldera fight. And claims a Rosa to add to that party.
John following immediately in Pankraz's footsteps to get the Rosa.
And Pankraz going to check the Antlion Cave.
Get your early checks out of the way. Get a little more looting done. That poison axe could be helpful later.
I suspect John will have as little trouble with this fight as Pankraz did. Yeah, immediately going for the Thor Rages.
Yeah, the front dolls have no HP here. The back ones have about 150-ish.
And at Antlion, we're going to get assaulted by the King and Queen of Eblon.
So because this is no free bosses, we cannot just let the script run out. Not that you would anyway here. You actually have to do the 500 damage apiece to them.
Good to know. Of course, they're not too much of a threat, though that's a pretty hefty damage there on that fire for this level. And John, again, following right behind Pankraz to the Antlion Cave. And we will see what is behind that. We get a heroine robe.
Yes,
with that
please.
Rosa there, yeah. Not a key item, but definitely an important piece of equipment.
Yep. 15 strength, agility, vitality to The wearer gives a ton of evade.
I suspect, even though that's no progression, that both our runners will be quite happy to see that. Pankraz headed over to Fabul now to check out who they're going to be managing the defense against. Doing a bit of shopping first. As John picks up that heroine robe, and Pankraz enters into the Fabul defense.
And invading the kingdom of Fabul today is
The Maja Sisters.
This could be dangerous with just how low HP we have.
Pankraz going to use that dark ability on Cecil. Doing a little bit of damage across the board.
The key here is get Sandy down ASAP so there's no wall that comes up. No reflected spells or prevents a sizable amount of damage to your party.
Yeah, which means that Mindy is going to hit her sister. Hilariously. JohnBirckhead also headed here to Fabul. And it looks like the Maja Sisters will be... Oh, Mindy taking herself out there. Also hilarious.
Mindy's like, I got this. Mindy did not, in fact, got this.
No, she certainly didn't. A tiara. More equipment for that Rosa. And a little bit of looting.
Nice black sword there. That will help a little bit, but unfortunately you can't take it with you once you become a paladin.
And John heading in to fight the Maja Sisters now. Does not get that Sandy out before the wall comes up. Which means he's going to have to deal with this Delta attack. But takes out Mindy first.
Also a good strategy. Just you don't want to take the tier 2s here. They hurt. Mainly because we only have 200 HP.
Yeah, they're probably not that damaging, but it feels like a lot when it's doing 170 out of 200. 170 out of 2,000 doesn't feel nearly so dangerous. Pankraz has headed up Mount Ordeals, so we're going to see what's up here at the top. Logical play, got to get that Paladin online.
At both runners having a poison axe for him to swing. I saw black belt. John's got a bandana for him to wear. A good amount of offense.
And that is Odin?
That is Odin.
It is indeed Odin.
Fortunately for our runners, we have Thor Rages.
Yep, makes it a lot easier when you don't have that spellcaster.
Yeah, as Chad's pointing out, we have Odin, we have the King of Baron attempting to stop Cecil from becoming a paladin, or testing him on his way.
I've never understood that idea of testing the hero. I mean, if the hero can't survive the test, who else is coming up to finish this? And again, John also a step behind Pankraz. And we've got Milon and friends moving to the other side of the bridge.
The zombie dance party has moved over. Those white arrows we started with are going to make very quick work of the ghasts.
Indeed they are. And the Cure 2 potions.
And those were purchased.
John reaching Odin at this point.
As
John
he-
is basically a step behind because he started out by checking out Mist Village and checking the package, which Pankraz did not do.
And as you can see, even with those lit ones, even though it's the first tier spell, this spot has a lot of spell multipliers. They're going to hurt.
They're doing almost
Compared
as much damage as the level 2 spells from the Magic Sisters were doing. John through Odin.
Choosing to use the Dancing Dagger and Aim Command rather than using the Thor Rages seemed to work just as well. And just pushing straight on into Milon and friends.
Yeah, neither of these runners turned back to save.
I like this play from John. You're against Pankraz, who is known as one of the best in the community. You have to play aggressive.
Yeah, and Pankraz through the Milon fight just as John begins it. And Milon falls into the deep ravine. And I'm sure we'll see who Cecil has to defeat to become his true self. And as this is a hero seed, Cecil has to do it alone.
I'm hoping for a Wyvern here.
That would be nasty. We got a Luca key as our key item. So the sealed cave is now in play. Not that we can get there, but the sealed cave is now in play. We do have a Lunar Sparkle. It's D-Lunar. Could be exciting.
With the Dancing Dagger, this is 2 Dancing Dagger tosses at each and we're out.
Yeah. They still only have a combined total of 1,000 hit points, right?
Yep, combined 1,000, so 500 apiece.
And there's one down. John, Milon is giving John a bit of trouble here. Oh, there's his body. And Pankraz is completing the D-Lunar fight as John is completing the Milon fight.
John will take a safety save here. Not a bad idea on Sea Hero, especially with Cecil, who always goes in this fight at level 1.
And there's Tella learning Meteor. Tella not in this seed, tragically. This flag set, I believe, excludes both Tella and Fusoya.
That is correct. The only way we could see either of those characters is as a hero under specific modifiers.
I have seen at least one Tella hero. I don't recall seeing a Fusoya during the tournament.
Neither do I. As Chad is pointing out, we're down to Baronin or a Sneaky Demon's hiding somewhere.
Yeah, it could be either of those things. And we're going to check the obvious place, which is the Baron Inn. Could be both. It could be Demist at Baron Inn.
I have the exact same idea as Pankraz. Just throw some Dancing Daggers at this.
Finding a black sword now that you've got Cecil the Paladin. We've got a twin there and Bigan as our first.
the seed has decided to shower us with white mages. Giving us both Rosa and Porum in the overworld checks.
Rydia available too, if you want a.
Blue robe, is it?
It is Water Hag, unfortunately.
So, fun part about this, you actually have to do the 4,000 damage to this.
Oh dear.
You can't
Even
just punch. Yeah?
Oh my goodness.
You can't just punch this 3 times and it goes away.
This could be interesting, because this is normally where Young sits, and Young can do some damage.
Fortunately for our runners, this spot is very slow.
Doing about 400 damage and attack should be, I mean, logically 10 attacks then. A little bit less than 400 on average. Those dancing daggers are doing about 350.
And the fight's safe enough. Especially with how slow Water Hag is, with how slow the spot is, and Cecil starting with a decent amount of agility.
Yeah, Cecil's also, or Pankraz has also adopted cover strats with Cecil, though it didn't seem necessary. And is through that fight to obtain that second white mage. John heading into the Baron Inn to do the same. Then there is the hook, which could be our logical underground access.
And that hook does represent objective number 3 and half of number 5.
I'm not sure where else you might want to look for the magma key. I think the only place to find it now would be to hunt the mist dragon.
And it could be. I don't think either runner has checked the vanilla demon spot, have they?
No, they haven't. Or the waterfall.
I think Pankraz poked his head in the waterfall.
And also, neither runner has checked the boss behind the package.
Gotta point out, yes, also the fan mark's available. First, we gotta get through this hook, which could prove to be a.
Well, there's Wyvern.
Oh.
Tiger's going to check out the package, find Rydia, and immediately bail out for now.
Sorry, I was not amused by Wyvern just chilling in this cave.
He's going to hook up that hovercraft as John begins the fight against the Water Hag.
Pankraz will shortly show us what is waiting for us on this hook route.
Heading into the cave of Eblon.
Or I'm saying make it karate. That could be amusing.
There will
You
also
don't
be
get the
a
ouch.
character.
Oh, go ahead.
There will also be a character here on the way down. Finish out that party.
That shop is loaded with good stuff.
John picking up his hook.
Hi, would you like D Machine grinding, or not D Machine, Mac Giant grinding a shop? Come to Evelyn. We got Charm Arrows, we got Thunder Claws, we got Ogre Axes.
One night only. Opening sale or closing sale or something.
Given it's the end of the tournament, I think it's the going out of business sale.
Going out of business. Until the next one.
Yeah, it's like one of those stores that it's like Spirit Halloween. It's going out of business till next year.
John also going to find the Wyvern at the Mist Cave. Pankraz stumbling over the Staleman.
Going to take the fight. Oh yeah, with charm arrows. Never mind. This is a very free fight with those.
John also going to check the back end of the Watery Pass, it looks like. And we will see who's there. It looks like, did I see a guard?
It was guards.
Neither of them worth dealing with.
Those are Baron guards. There's only those are Baron guards. That was if it were Kaibo guards, there would have been more than the 2 sprites.
And John again following Pankraz right into Evelyn Cave.
I did not catch the reward from that box. Did
We
you?
got a Sid. I didn't catch the reward from the Staleman, no. We got Sid as our 5th party member here, and some form of Lunar Sparkle as our guard at Hook 2.
Strange. I just saw Lunar Sparkle.
Ryben says it was a ribbon in that box.
Thank you, Rybon.
So we know it's not Wyvern. And Wyvern could not logically gate that access, I believe. Anyway. So that leaves...
Correct.
And we know it's not D-Lunar, because the Lunar Dragons have been taken out. That leaves Plague. That leaves... Ogopogo, my Canadian brother. And... there's one more that I'm thinking. Sorry? Haildim, yes. Yep. Ogopogo could be interesting there. I've seen Ogopogo provide a stopping point in a couple seeds in this tournament.
Definitely could be interesting there, and although we do have enough white mages for Blink, I don't know if they have Blink yet to get us through that.
And yes, we can confirm it was a ribbon in the Staleman chest. John just took it out.
Also, we need some extra XP. We do know the Mad Ogres are the last chest on the Hook route.
Pankraz going for those Mad Ogres.
Wants a little more XP before taking on these fights. I don't blame anyone for that.
And in fact, going to undertake to do some life glitching, it looks like. So for anyone who might be new to this, when you use Life 1 on a dead target, it receives hit points equal to 5 times its vitality. Well, no monsters have any vitality score, and therefore they are resurrected with 0 hit points and immediately die again, giving you credit for 2 kills. That is the life glitch.
And then, depending when the Darkness Crystal shows up, we may see that glitch in action quite a bit on some giants.
Or just on anything at all that happens to come not alone.
However, it does not work on on enemies that have the boss bit. So with Beano Free on, you cannot life glitch, say the Kite, or the Baron Guards, or Dark Imps, or anything like that.
That is a shame. And Edward has decided to do what bards do best and stay out of the way. As Pankraz finishes up this last Mad Ogre.
Edward is supporting from behind.
Yeah, John making his way through the way down through the tower. There's Berserk and Exit. And a Drain Spear.
The real reward was the 17,000 experience we made on the way.
Sounds like it, yes. The real friends were the treasure we found.
Yes. Treasure will never betray you, right?
I certainly have never had treasure betray me. Except that one time it was a mimic, but that's a whole other story.
How often can that happen?
Depends on the game you're playing. Pankraz heading down to see who is blocking the road for the hook seed, or for the hook route. Here we go. It is CPU at hook 1.
That's a very free fight.
Oh, Pankraz doesn't seem to think so. I had to back out.
Pankraz also came in with cover setup, which is a bit of a problem when the boss is doing 10% of everyone's max HP.
Yeah, it doesn't. That setup doesn't quite work. Probably faster to go back, use the cabin, rather than scrambling to heal. Alright, let's see what Pankraz does to take down this this computer. Send it into forced shutdown mode.
I expect we're going to find the power bonnet somewhere and just shoot enough arrows until it stays pushed.
Gone through his own Mad Ogre fight. Going to head back up to prep up and save. Reasonable thing to do, especially when you don't know what's here.
And there are some nasty things that can show up at Hook 1. It's a fairly speedy spot and extremely punchy.
Looks like John also setting up for cover strats. Leaving that Horum unhealed. We'll see what the reaction is to seeing CPU. It's the same. It's a reset. And there goes CPU for Pankraz, leaving behind only the attacker, who goes down to a single blow. And on to whatever Lunar Sparkle that is that's guarding the way. Looks like Pankraz is not going to go back to save, just going to go straight into the fight.
Pankraz feeling confident that, well, one of the options is a dragon here.
Oh, Pale Dim hit pretty hard, but
I know at least John has a Dragoon Shield, which makes this fight free.
Pankraz choosing to Berserk Rosa.
You doot me, I doot you.
And is going for the cover strats that would not have worked on the CPU. And of course you start this fight with full hit points and magic points, because Rubicant is such a fair player. He wants to win, but he wants to win fairly. And so whatever boss happens to be here picks up that quality.
Ruby wants an honorable fight.
And it's easy enough to bring someone back to life from a KO'd position to a critical health position where they will be automatically covered by that back row Cecil.
Getting some extra Zerks out on Pankraz's side to try to speed the fight up.
Looks like John's also done some berserking fighting the CPU and has managed to take down both orbs. He's going to see some Globe 199, I think.
Or
get through it fast enough, yeah.
Or you can just end the fight and not have to worry about them.
Yeah, well, definitely the better of the two options. John going back to do a quick safety save. Understandable.
And I think because of Ogo and Plague still being out there, mostly Ogo, you want to be a little safe.
Yeah. Edward presents some interesting possibilities for Plague, but Plague is not here. And John going to step into his Pale Dim fight. As Pankraz continues his.
If I've seen slows go out everywhere, I think everything on Pankraz's side is as slow as it can get.
But this fight looks like it's pretty cold at this point. It could have been Ogopogo, but no. It is this instead.
I was hoping for some soppy noodles here.
So this is going to give us Launch the Falcon, objective number 3, when these runners are through Pale Dim.
I expect to see our runners go to the Fey March next, grab the free bat of there, see what we're dealing with, because they are both objectives.
Yeah, and you'll want to get your free item there too. They might also go to the Sylph Cave and set up Sheila 1. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing Ogopogo in some dreadfully fast spot, guarding the Baron Key, which also guards the Rat Tail or something like that.
You see on John's side what I meant about the Dragoon Shield makes this free. Cecil's taking 1 damage.
Yeah. Even on Pankraz's side, it's only in the 50s and 60s, so it's a little bit more. He has to keep that poor him healing him once in a while, but he's doing it's pretty safe. Judge Joe in chat pointing out that we know where the Baron Key is. It's in the sealed cave and behind the Luca Key.
I like it. Chat's saying, yeah, we have Whitesnake here on the screen.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Whitesnake was active at the same time this game was made.
Early 90s, yeah.
I think even lasted in the 90s.
I never followed them. I don't really know. I was around at that time, but Whitesnake was not on my list of bands that I paid much attention to.
That's very fair. The chat asking, what is using a Dwarf Castle as an item do? Absolutely nothing but pass his turn, which is important here because you don't want to defend to break your cover, and you don't want to swing for 200 damage and sit through a slow counter.
And it looks like Pankraz has defeated Pale Dim and is going to go and launch that Falcon.
Yeah, I feel the pain of these runners right now, having to sitting through a long Pale Dim fight all the doots.
But at 35 minutes and change, we're going to have our first objective complete, and we are in the underground. And I didn't catch who was sitting at the top of the tower.
I did
Fiery
not see
Blizzard
that. I
saying-
glanced away for a second.
Fiery Blizzard saying it's Azura up there. Okay.
That is fine.
Objective complete. Launch the Falcon, and Pankraz has first of 6 goals completed.
John is a handful of dutes behind.
Yeah, the early package check and rating of Mist City or Mist Village is just keeping John one step behind Pankraz, but certainly not out of striking distance by any means. Pankraz in the Cave of Summoned Monsters finds the monster chest early on and has a nice free raid of all them treasure chests.
Everything seeing anything terribly interesting in these treasures?
Sometimes you just take the treasures because they're there. Some mute arrows. Another crystal shield. We'll get a look at that free key item. It is the pan. Hello.
This is why I checked the preview before doing Sheila.
Well, there's 3 key item chests that just opened up right there.
That it is.
Well, 2 that just opened up and 1 that's right alongside them, but that's beside the point. And John is through his Pale Dim fight and headed in to launch the Falcon.
And according to chat, John is about 2.5 minutes or so behind Pankraz, or through the hook route, which is still very much tenuous race. This could come down to one hidden key item.
It is by no means an insurmountable lead. We have Valis in the king's spot. We have Golbez in the queen's spot.
That queen spot is very free.
But Valis in the king's spot, I'm not sure if that one is.
No, it's not. I would want to take that queen spot right now.
Yeah, we have reflect items.
Yeah.
Could protect for it, get the experience for it, find out what the key item is behind it.
Yep, it's
Pankraz,
objective.
meanwhile. Oh yeah, and it's
I'm checking. 1 star bail and you're out because that spot has a lot of magic. It won't take many reflected spells to finish the fight.
John, meanwhile, headed down to Dwarf Castle, at least to take the free heal. And Pankraz whacking Yang over the head with a pan.
And Garen and chat pointing out, you got a ribbon.
And there's the Baron key. Hello.
So we are a rat tail, a twin harp, or both House of Forge.
We have access to 5 out of 6 gold. John, foregoing the Cave of Summoned Monsters to check on the Dwarf Castle here.
And a way to get to Z, of course. So this.
Yes, we don't have any way to actually access the final fight yet.
So this check right here, John is doing. It could be the divergence John needs.
Yeah. You never know. I see a dark elf bouncing around behind the throne, and Sheila 1 has the adamant,
That's
and Sheila 2 the legend.
And we are in.
And
Well, we're not in go.
Pankraz
We are
is
not in go.
Complete goals mode. Then let's call it
We are missing a key component to finishing the game.
a way to access Zeromus. So we are a pass or a darkness crystal away.
And away get through that stinky Val fight.
Well, yes. Pankraz immediately going to forge that that sword, complete that objective.
All right, show us Caliburn.
You're going to have to clear that one up for me because I'm not familiar with all the fancy weapons.
Caliburn, it's not a weapon.
Defense sword and tiara available for sale, and the piggy sword.
Okay, Piggy Stick is a functional weapon. It's like 150-ish power. 150 power, no special bonuses. I think it can be used to cast Piggy or Piggy on hit. I'm not sure.
John, meanwhile, through the first phase of the Dark Elf fight and through the second phase of the Dark Elf fight, and we're going to see who is taking Golbez's place in Dwarf Castle 2.
Pankraz, staying at the Motel 6 quickly before taking on Baron.
We got Dark Imps here, it looks like. And Edge as our character. Unsurprisingly, Edward being left behind for that Edge.
I agree with this completely. Edge, we have I know if we've seen ways to back row the Edge. We've seen at least functional weapons for him, like the long swords.
Pankraz heading right into Baron Castle. Again, there's 2 key items here and a character check, so worth doing.
And both checks in here are also objectives.
Yep, for sure. Have to go through them at some point. Well, I guess you don't have to, but we haven't got any other way forward through the objectives at the moment.
There is that Val.
And 1 Dark Imp is down out of the 3 for John, as Pankraz makes his way to fight Mom Bomb in the Baigan spot.
I was gonna say, I'm glad you remembered that. That was 43 minutes ago.
Some things stick, some things don't. What can I tell you? John is through them Dark Imps, and Mom Bomb is facing off with Pankraz's party. And I've always been kind of curious, as this cutscene plays out on John's side, why no one even bothers to try and stop the hand? It's just a hand. Step on it.
I think in Vanilla, everyone was like, oh wow, it's Rydia!
They're standing around congratulating each other on the win.
And being amazed that Rydia showed up and no one noticed the little hand creeping along.
All right, and Luca, around her neck, is wearing the Darkness Crystal. Now, isn't that interesting? There's our Golbez access, or our Zeromus access. We have no mode anyway.
That we do. Now, this could be very bad for John. If he's going to grab the Rydia. He's likely going to grab the Rydia, do a grind. The question is, does he go back down to the Fey March afterwards?
We have found Mist Dragon. Mist Dragon is on the throne at Baron Castle. The ultimate revenge for the Mist Village.
You can see the equipment being set up on John's side. This is very much Black Giant slaying gear.
So John getting ready for a grind as Mist Dragon goes down for Pankraz. John going to claim that Rydia. And our character here is another edge. So both our runners will have an edge. Which means neither runner has an edge.
But whose edge has the edge?
And here's a grown-up caller facing down against John's team. Titan will show up. Misery will occur. Earthquakes, thunderbolts, lightning. Very, very frightening.
Galileo!
And we'll head to Kaipo, I assume.
I would hope so.
Just a rune axe in that check, but liberate Baron Castle complete. Pankraz is halfway to completion, but does not have any access for the... we're going to check the Mist Dragon here, but does not have any access to Zeromus.
Pankraz is looking for that pass or darkness, so going to check the K-main spot. We know this can't be darkness, but it could be a pass.
It's a rat tail.
That will allow Pankraz to skip the Valis.
It will indeed. And John heading in to complete the package quest. We have another Lunar Sparkle here. And it's Ogopogo!
So the only sparkle we haven't seen now is the large floating eyeball.
Yep. Come all the way down from the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia to Kaipo to be ended with a single arrow trying to capture a small girl who is actually grown up. The rat tail turn-in provides us with an Artemis bow, which is an object that does not lead us forward. Star Veils for sale at Kaipo.
Always useful to grab a few more of those if you need them. I think John is hunting for life potions.
Star Veils, Ethers, and Tents. Pankraz is going to go in and check the Baron basement, I would bet. After having got that free heal from doing the package completion. And on the other Baron throne, we have a Dark Knight.
Ooh. Well, we do have 2 white mages, but no, that's come back later.
That's a do it tomorrow kind of situation. So we have Valis at the King of Monster Town and Dark Knight Cecil in the Baron basement, both of which may provide serious sticking points.
With Pankraz going to Dwarf, we know this will lead to his Darkness Crystal and actual Go mode.
Yep. So we'll have Go mode at about 55 minutes. John launching the big whale. Oh, and chat pointing out we're no free, so we can't actually wait for justice not to be the only right in this world. We have to actually kill that Cecil.
Yeah, you have to sit through wave.
That is a serious sticking point. John seems to be about ready to do a grind though, so maybe when he gets there, might be ready to go.
You have to sit through wave after wave after wave, and it's it's like 500 a pop.
I have seen that Dark Knight be problems in a few seeds. Oh, Silkwebs at Mysidia. That's good to know.
Those will be useful for the upcoming grind. Because if you slow the first Mac Giant, they all get slowed.
I believe technically they're all the same Mac Giant.
Yes, they all occupy the same point in space. Don't worry about it.
And from what I understand, from the technical point of view, the game is just reviving the same one over and over and over again. Pankraz through the Dark Elf, and John heading to the moon.
Is this a lunar character check?
Could be lunar character check, could be... I don't know what else might do. The character check could be checking the shop at the Hummingway cave. And Pankraz challenging his dark imps. Looks like his party got poisoned.
That poison seems to be a setup for the Golbez fight.
That's a good point, taking that down to the Queen of Summon Monsters spot and getting Golbez. We have a twin. We have the other twin, specifically.
So this will be a double Black Mage Sling on John's side.
That gamble may well pay off.
Pankraz very soon to find the good news.
And Pankraz, when this cutscene plays out, will be in go mode. John headed over to Agart.
Searching for life pots.
Okay. There they are. We know they must be available in some overworld shop, is that correct?
Yes. The Beyond Safe flag is not on, so life pots must be available somewhere in overworld for sale. Pankraz is also about to raise the whale, and we are probably going to have dueling Mac Gs very soon.
Now, the one slip here is that John does not know about the free pan in the Town of Monsters, nor the Legend Sword and Adamant, both available at Sheila. So, we'll see. Yeah, Baron Key, in fact, Legend Sword and Adamant. That pan is necessary.
Yes, it is.
It gates 3 objectives.
And 4. The rat tail is from Baron.
That's true, yes.
Possum, yes, Pankraz does know about the Rydia. We saw him peek in there real quick.
Pankraz also heading to the moon, probably for that free character check. And then likely also to start a grind. John, happy with what he sees, headed to the Lunar Whale to start the Giant of Babel sequence. Probably not going to complete it.
No, I expect we're going to go in, destroy 16 or so Mac Giants, and then leave.
Pankraz abandoning Sid for that Palom.
Now, if you're slinging, you may want to get that poison. If you're doing Mac Gs, you may want to get that poison off your party, just so you're not seeing a damage by poison throughout the fight.
John finds Searcher. And finds the Mac Giant. So we begin the Mac Giant grind.
Here comes the Silk Club out to slow down the Mac Giants.
So we've been talking about Slingshot. So for any who don't know, in Free Enterprise, any character who has a level that is 5 or more lower than the median level of the party gets double experience. In incredibly powerful experience fights, this can lead to one character actually slingshotting past the rest of the party, despite having been at a lower level to begin with. So that Rydia and that poor Palom are quite low level, and as you can see by how badly she got smashed there, and will be quite high level after this grind is done.
Yes, the idea is to take Rydia in one fight directly to level 50 and Palom direct to level 52 for their big spells.
Anchor's now, I think, doing the same thing, looking for those life potions. Finding Hermes is for some speed. Another interesting...
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Another interesting note, Pankraz has, by my count, 9 key items. At a 10th key item, he will also get double experience, so maybe it's worth, whilst still poisoned, going to take on that Golbez and seeing if it drops another key item.
That is fair, because you're likely just going to do your grind and go take out the DKC. Pankraz.
Well, he's gonna gonna crack a siren and break an egg, looks like. I'm gonna keep that Palom on the ground. All the better to slingshot you with, my dear.
I think I just saw Porum with a Berserk.
That could be awkward. There's a yellow dragon.
Oh, never mind. Oh, Poison blocked it. Good call, Antidale. I was gonna say, Porum should have enough levels to not whiff. And
yeah,
Pankraz agrees with you.
Yep, gonna head to check that Golbez first. John doing a very casual grind of the Mac Giants, just killing one after another.
Getting some life glitches out, just to make sure I get all the XP from this.
Yeah, we'll know the grind is over when he starts using those life potions, not on the enemies, but on his own unconscious teammates. Here comes Pankraz into Golbez. And being poisoned, can't be paralyzed by Golbez's hold gas.
Correct, this is why the poison axe used earlier.
Because of the way status effect priority works. And here comes Shadow Dragon to demolish until the party is down to 2 members. And Rosa blowing herself up, but not completing it?
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
I think it was targeting the Porum, but the Porum went down to a demolish.
Ah, see.
And because they're not paralyzed, they can get those Star Veils off and let Golbez do most of the work himself in this fight.
You see here that the Reflected 3 is doing 5,000 damage.
And those spells are coming out fast. $6,000 on that lightning. And that's the end of Golbez, completing the 5th of 6 goals. Xpankraz 1 goal away, either that nasty Valis or that nasty Dark Knight Cecil in the Baron Castle basement, or finding a Twin Heart.
Golbez giving us just a Stardust Rod. No 10th key item from this.
Alas. Could check the sealed cave, but that's a bit of a long check. John has completed the grind. 43 levels for his Palom. There's Virus, Quake, Warp. The 3s, Stone, Psych, Fatal, Weak, Meteo, and finally Nuke. And 49 levels for Rydia.
We'll see
Once they
most
get
of
to
the
level
same.
50.
Mostly the same except no Meteo.
Yeah. And no Fire 1. Oh no, wait, she's up. She's upgraded. She'll have Fire 1 now, won't she?
No, she never learns it.
Okay, fair enough. And John, remembering to turn encounters off and leaving the Giant of Babel.
It's a very important step after your grind. I've certainly done that myself on more than one occasion.
I have seen people have to scramble to get away from a fight they did not want.
I've been back attacked after that and wiped.
Ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch. And John headed to the underground to finally check the Fey March. I suspect, probably feel confident enough after this to take both of them on.
Yeah, with a full grind completed.
So this has been a pretty straightforward seed key item-wise, but my goodness, seeing Valis and Dark Knight Cecil blocking the way. And there's John picking up the pan, which will give him Legend Sword and Adamant and Baron Key once he completes it.
Yep. So John will be in go as soon as he goes and does Sheila.
Xpankraz, meanwhile, heading into the Giant of Babel to start his grind, which may or may not be faster. We'll find out, I suppose.
I think it will end up a little bit faster just because of the siren levels.
Party composition here is also slightly different, because Xpankraz did not take that Rydia. So only has to slingshot Palom. John gearing up to go and see who's in the basement of the library. And we'll get the good news about Golbez and the bad news about Valis.
looks like we're going to take the Val first, which, if we're going to take both, this is the correct order.
Yeah, you're going to be pretty beat up after either of them, but Golbez doesn't particularly worry too much about that. We're going to start with some dart. He has nothing to dart. Oh, that's unfortunate. Valis tornadoes up, and the fight is on.
Okay, Edge is doing reasonable damage. As Chow was pointing out,
Go ahead.
As Chow was pointing out, this spot does have perfect magic defense, so there is no dealing damage with Nuke, Bahamut, any of it.
Yeah, it's no way to get her out of that tornado either without Kane. Cover strats are going to come in because the weak spells are going to land. Which means, yeah, Blink on Cecil is going to be important. And yeah, that... So it's going to be a tense. Oh, there's a weak.
That's not the target you want. Cecil's the worst target to get weaked.
He's blinked at least.
Yeah, the problem is he won't cover, unless manual cover ignores the fatal or the near death status.
He's got a couple of white mages there ready to go. It's going to be tight, but I think John's got it moving anyway. Here comes a weak again. Also don't want him to get petrified by that ray.
Well, all the Val's going on. Pankraz is well into the grind fight. We're seeing the same thing. Gets them summon the Mac Giant, kill the Mac Giant, do some life glitches. We do see some double life glitches on Pankraz's side.
The extra level from the Siren, from the egg cracking, may make the actual giant kills a little faster.
And while Edge is the main damage on John's side, we do see Cecil and Rose at least contributing. 4,000 from that aim. That is some serious work Rose is doing. I do believe Pankraz does have the Artemis bow, which is helping Rose's damage. Compared to, I believe, the Archer bow that I think John was using, or the Elven bow, or...
It's not the Artemis in any event.
Exactly.
Cecil out of blinks. And being weakened. And Valis goes down. Well done, John.
And from here, it's just set your party up and, hop to the right.
Crystal Shield. Nothing that important from there, but that is an objective, and a big one. That Valis threatened to stand in the way of forward progress for a while. Using Size and Piggy to prevent that paralysis gas, John is going in after Golbez. Not even bothering to take a save after that. A bit risky, but...
This is completely safe.
This is pretty safe, yeah.
Because of status priority, the Piggy and Minnie will prevent hold gas from working, which means whichever two characters don't get demolished can throw veils and the fight's over.
Which means that once John checks that pan, basically on our way. Shadow likened some pork today, apparently. And missed to demolish. Interesting.
That must have targeted a ribbon.
Ryudo RPG, where was the Baron Key? It was at Pan.
It was the Pan
behind the Pan Bonk. Sheila has the Legend Sword and the Adamant. Both of them. Right, Golbez gets one virus through, but is now going to start destroying himself on those reflects. Yeah, at a certain point, you got to wonder when he's just going to stop hitting himself, right? Like, you kind of have to realize that the more you do this, the more damage you're doing to yourself. So why do you keep it up? Anyway, Golbez is done. John has cleared both Feymarch objectives.
And Pankraz is finished with the grind, and that is an amount of XP. That was required to get Porum all the way to white.
It'll be interesting to see, where does Pankraz go? Does he go to the Dark Knight, or does he go to Valvelis?
I think this is a Dark Knight play. You have Nuke White, that DKC is just going to go away.
John heading down to cash in the Pan, which will give him the Baron Key, which will also send him to Sheila to get the Legend Sword and Adamant. And both our runners will be in a race to the finish.
And as we expected, straight to DKC for Pankraz. With this party fully rested, it's going to be the 3 attacks and it's over.
John getting the Baron Key. Yeah, that Odin spot doesn't have a huge hit point count, does it?
The Odin spot, 19,000 or so.
And that does have to be dealt, because of the no free flag. $20,500 apparently. According to
I didn't know the exact number. Thank you, chat.
John headed in to liberate Baron Castle before cashing that Pan. And that Dark Knight
makes sense.
Yeah. Well, it's right there.
You saw the damage coming from that wave. That would have been a disaster, taking it with a level high 20s party and only cure 2.
Just impossible, yeah. But we're doing 10,000 off those off the nuke there. And down goes the Dark Knight, clearing the Baron Basement Throne, and the last goal that Pankraz needs to do. Getting the Tower Key. I don't think he'll be cashing that one in.
Hey, that's our 10th and soon to be 11th key items.
I'm already seeing Zed flags popping up in the stream chat.
A little early. We've still got an entire LST walk to go through.
Yeah. John handing Mom Bomb a defeat before it could even get to the second phase.
And with these levels, John is just going to take the Baron Basement right away.
And get the throne on the way back out. Xpankraz headed to the moon for what I feel it will be the last time. I think this is it.
Unless some serious shenanigans happen in the next few minutes.
Well, we can never count out Zeromus. But these runners are pretty solid. And Xpankraz has done a massive grind, got a lot of power behind him. Yeah, as our tracker, Roddy Sniper, pointing out, it's not over until you see the crack of the crumble.
That is very true.
It's like playing a chess grandmaster. You make one mistake, and then all of a sudden, everything falls apart around you. You have no idea how, but you just got to set back up and go again.
Hi, so you see me play chess. Just no idea is the whole strategy.
I was more referring to me playing chess, but all right. John has cleared the basement throne. Xpankraz walking down the upper part of the Lunar Palace. And John heading up to fight the Mist Dragon, which will lead him to the Rat Tail if he goes there. And this fight should be pretty quick and cold. Yeah, it's just passing turns until a nuke comes up.
Yeah, 4,000 HP, a Mist Dragon, one nuke and you're done.
Xpankraz not even bothering to save, just heading straight in, feeling fully confident in this party. We're on our way down through the lunar subterrane, the Crystal Path. If you're not careful in chess, everything can collapse like a house of cards. Reminds me of a Futurama quote.
Yes, it does.
If we hit that bullseye, the rest of the dominoes will fall like a house of cards. Checkmate.
Glad you remembered it. I remember it's one of the many amazing Branniganisms.
Oh yes, for sure. Anyway, we're here at Zeromus, and those Z flags had popped up, so we cannot randomize where Zeromus is. He's far too dangerous, but we can randomize who Zeromus is, which leads us to one question that we are going to ask for one final time in this tournament. Dave, would you like to do the honors?
That question is, whose butt are we about to kick tonight?
And we will find out. Xpankraz coming in with full confidence, a high-powered party. John going to find, to check the Mist Dragon, to find his Rat Tail and head into go mode, but it's probably going to be too late.
Yeah, John would need Xpankraz to wipe here, and with these levels, not terribly likely.
Edge with the crystal. Here's the pitch. We have some blue explosions over a red monster. True colors are emerging. We should be seeing a Gur-Arg any moment now. There it is. Gur-Arg indeed. And we have... It looks like Wartomus, who's going to be fed his vegetables in smooth fashion tonight.
I don't want to eat my veggies.
Bit early on that silk web toss, it hadn't properly retargeted. Here comes Reflected Nuke. John finally claiming the crystal. And Wartimus doing Pankraz a favor and reflecting the nuke off Rosa's Starveil.
Yeah, chat pointing out, this whole tournament was just a dream. That's what this final boss represents.
That's what it's telling us, yes. Here comes the first Big Bang. It will have been nerfed. Big Bang uses a different, Wartimus there uses different magic level calculations for all the various spells he's got. So if you get him to throw a nuke before the Big Bang, he uses the nuke magic calculation, which is lower than the Big Bang magic calculation. Yep. And you can get him to throw a nuke by hitting with pretty much any spell that doesn't trigger a different counterattack.
Yeah, pretty much any black magic. White magic triggers a weak counter, and summon magic, your guess is as good as mine what it's going to do.
I remember trying to use white on Zeromus. It does not go well.
Sometimes it provokes weak, sometimes it provokes nuke. I don't know the timing.
Advice from chat is, don't use summons. So John is making his way down into the lunar subterrane as Pankraz is taking on this Wartimus. It isn't over till it's over, but it's looking pretty close. It does only take one mistake, one slip, and suddenly Zeromus has an upper hand.
Although with the way Pankraz is dancing, I think this nuke's going to finish it.
Yeah, going with reflect strats. There's a crack and a crumble. And Pankraz is your winner for the Highway to the Zemus Zone 6 League game and tournament. Congratulations, Pankraz. Good game.
Yep, that is back-to-back tournament championships for Pankraz.
Dawn taking the final save here. Slowing battle speed down just to be sure.
Yeah, if John has seen the dun. Yeah, if John's watching, he's seen the dun come in. So this is just finish it out.
Yeah, put on a good show for this seed. Let's clear it. Yeah, well done. What a fun final seed.
Both runners putting on a fantastic performance. No slip-ups by either runner. Just the slight running differences.
Yep, John got a step behind by checking out Mist Village at the beginning, and never really caught it back up. But that's not a mistake. That's just a choice. And neither runners made any. The only reset I can recall is them both running into CPU when they were prepped for cover strats, and having to take that back and go a second time at it. But they both did that.
And we are joined by Pankraz. GG's, Pankraz.
Well done. Good game.
Thank you. Absolute GG's.
So, what do you think of the seed overall?
Well, I'm glad that I checked my tracker. I was playing a weird 7 out of 9 seed for a little bit, where I thought that Sealed Cave was one of my objectives. I had it on my, tracker window and everything. If you looked, it was replacing the Odin spot boss. Except I had it in my head that Baron was a double anyway, because of our pre-race chatter. We're like, Baron's a double, everything's, this is bad, blah, blah, blah. And right around that Dwarf Castle, when you see me check the menu and everything, I'm like, wait a minute. Something's not adding up.
I was wondering what that was about. It was like right after you turned into the rat tail, I think. I saw you like, huh.
Yeah, so that's about the time where I'm like, wait a minute, something's not adding up. What's going on here? What's going on here? And a little bit of the stress of, having 8 objectives or 7 of my 9 objectives available to me and trying to figure out which 6 to do lifted. So that was nice. But it was an interesting little seed, little low power, a little bit of shenanigans along the way with how many tiaras the loot popped up, with what bosses were where, staring down DKC, Val, and Golbez as your main 3 options to end the seed and do your last objectives. It's like, come on. And I think it was an interesting seed and a fun seed, and I'm glad that I could take 2 white mages to the Z fight in a Zemus zone bracket match and not short at all.
I'm kind of curious, when you went down to the Fey March, the bottom of the Fey March, and saw Valis at the King of the Town of Monsters, how unprintable was your reaction?
We'll put it moderately. It was one of those moments of just like, okay, I don't want to do that. That's fine. Like, I can do that. I don't want to do that. That's going to suck a lot. So what else can I do? Let's put off the Fey March last. I didn't really want to do Golbez either without having the ability to set up for it until I remembered my Poison Axe. Shoutouts to the Poison Axe. And figuring out, seeing those 2 bosses, getting the pan in hand and everything, it's like, okay, what else can I do while thinking that I'm in go mode at that point?
Yeah, we were watching the early go mode come up, and John found the darkness crystal as you found the rat tail, just about. So you had all your objectives, and he had access to Zeromus. So it was an interesting moment there.
Yeah, a bit of a dichotomy, and with the darkness crystal still outstanding, it was something that was worrying me around the time that I was doing Baron. I'm thinking to chase the objectives because I still need moon access. I still need to grind, ultimately. I could do doors, but that's not going to get me to nuke. So with that looming, it's always, okay, I have to check these things. Let's knock them out however I can. Do the Baron key. Hey, look, a Demus. Check the Demus. Hey, look, a rat tail. Cross my fingers really hard. And then the great hunt for darkness begins, and I'm glad that I found it while buying time for myself to think.
And what made you decide to go to Dwarf? You still had a Seal Cave Peak, top of tower in play, Fey March bosses if you wanted to.
Fey March bosses I wasn't really considering. I didn't want to do the Golbez without much setup, and it wasn't until I was fighting Dark Elf that I remembered I could cast Poison with the Poison Axe. So I was writing off a lot of that until a little bit later. My plans were either Sealed Cave or that. I didn't really want to do Top of Tower just because while it would be quick with the Mute Arrows and with the Artie Bow that I picked up along the way, it's a commitment and it's too easy to get suckered into something from the top. I didn't want that happening. Luca I probably should have spied. That's what I was thinking during that fight, was that, okay, the next step, we're going to go down, we're going to peek whatever's in Luca. There's no Demus outstanding, it's a quick one-off. It's either Darkness or it's Bubkiss. So let's go see. And basically Dwarf was the most convenient check to give me time to think while still being maybe a character to replace my Sid that was in my party.
Any other thoughts on the seed, on the tournament? Anything you want to add to the conversation here?
Not really. As far as the seed itself goes, rather straightforward one ultimately, and it led itself well to my playstyle, minor optimizations, trying to get a little bit of time here, a little bit of time there, especially in certain fights, and it paid off. It paid off. I had a blast of a tournament. Goes without saying, I imagine, sitting here as I am. But I hope that everybody else had a good time too. And special shout outs, as always, to John, Mr. Put himself down because he's not good enough. You're here as the runner up to the Highway to the Zemus Zone 6, man. Absolute GGs in 5 games. And I was pushed. And I'm glad that I was pushed, and I'm glad that we put on a show for you all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all to the Restream team tonight and outside of it. Thank you to the event team, to the admin team, to all of us that have put in so much to making this show work out. And I'm excited to be back.
Well done. And as I'm fond of saying, we wouldn't have anything to Restream if you guys weren't racing. So thank you for doing that for us.
Hey, anytime. I am looking forward to hearing John's thoughts as well, chatting a bit more with him, and to, well, having my steak dinner that's waiting for me. I've got to go put the grill on and get a little bit of a victory meal out of that.
And speaking of John, we are joined by JohnBirckhead. GG's, John.
GG's, John.
GG's, and of course, GG's to our champ. Congrats, Pankraz.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, John. That was a clinic. You showed us how it's done.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, let's say early on, So first off, what were your thoughts overall about the seed?
It was interesting. Cecil here is always a little. There's a lot that kind of goes into it, because if he doesn't have a black sword, he doesn't really have a ton of power to begin with, so it's kind of like a lemon of a character. And then you kind of have to be ready for the changing room too, right? Because that can be a little dicey. But you do want him to, of course, become paladin for obvious reasons. So not a ton of power, and then you get a package. So I, opted to go ahead and kind of loot in there. Maybe you spike something, maybe find something for sale. And then it was Iridia, which is great long term, but it doesn't give you a ton of power right away either. So I decided just to go ahead and kind of save it for later, and maybe run into her later. Maybe find Baron early. Maybe she's on the moon. Then you have to go through the cutscene. And then DMC and Basement had the goods. I should have just gone there first, like I always do. And from there on out, it was fine. The Sparkle and the Hook route, you'd already seen Wyvern, and you'd already seen... Oh, God, I don't remember. The D-Lunas, I think D-Lunas were in the changing room. So, basically, it was like, oh God, what if it's Ogo? And if you're, going against someone that isn't like a Pankraz type, maybe you go back and take some monster boxes and Eblin, get some levels, get double Blink, double Berserk. Or, if you are going against a Pankraz, you just go and hope that it's either Plague or Paladin. And with the Aegis Shield, I knew that I could go ahead and cover, do cover strats with the Ogres, and then I felt lucky, right? 2 out of 3 chance of it not being Ogo, and then I just wanted Eddie out of my party, so I went down to Dwarf, and there was Darkness. So, I guess I was talking with him a little bit in the room, so I guess I missed Forge and a few other things. So I guess my ordering wasn't quite right, and I was a little behind getting underground to begin with. So very interesting seed. It just I wasn't as clean, and it just didn't go my way.
No, I don't know about being as clean. And I think you just made different choices, and nothing I could see were wrong choices. Just didn't work out. It all looked... 90 minutes on that seed is an impressive time, regardless. So I would say that was a good show.
Thank you. That's very kind. I appreciate you saying that. So thank you.
It was absolutely nothing done wrong there. So, you already answered. I was going to ask about your divergence going underground. Pankraz went and checked the Flame Arch freebie first.
Yeah, I just really wanted Eddie out of the party, and I was kind of hoping to be able to. My thought process was single dip, right? If you can go ahead and single dip, then save a little bit of time here and there. Anywhere I can kind of nip and tuck time. seemed good, and then when it hit darkness, it was like, oh baby, like I just felt like I was in the driver's seat, and it just didn't happen. So
yeah, well, it was still well worth watching. Still fun to watch. So, do you have any other thoughts? Any final statements to make? Come all
no,
listening.
just Pankraz is the GOAT, and for good reason, and proved it in this tournament, and like he has in several others, and just very much GG's to him, and thank you all for doing commentary, and thanks for everyone for watching. Tournament season is very exciting, very fun, but the only reason why it's exciting and fun is if people are there to go ahead and watch. So just very grateful for the community to come out for us, and yeah.
Well, you guys make it fun to watch.
I'm glad. That's definitely what we aim to do.
Good. Well done to both runners. That was a show, and I've really enjoyed commenting it, and as I have all the games I have throughout this tournament. I think that sounds like it's about it from us. Dave, any final thoughts from you?
Nope. I think we're good here. Yeah, GG's and well done throughout this tournament, John.
Yeah, to John and Pankraz and all the runners who were running through this whole tournament, a good game, well done. Hope to see you again next year and throughout the season in the meantime.
Yes, we will be. To anyone looking to join our community after this tournament is over, we do have our club seasons firing up in a few weeks, where we have all sorts of fun clubs available. We have clubs for beginner players, clubs for more experienced players, clubs with challenging flag sets, clubs with just meme flag sets, and ideally, my personal favorite club, the Torian Tango, which is a club are flags you play with a friend.
Like most things, it's always better with another person. So with all that in mind, hopefully we'll see you again before too long. Tonight we're going to head over to, we're going to raid over to the RPG Valkyries because Speedrun Ragnarok is on for this next week. And I know a little bit about it because I'm in it. So if y'all are interested in morning speedruns, I am doing 3 of them throughout this week. I am blessed and honored to be able to do that for them. And but if you like the speedruns for the RPG Valkyries, I'm not sure. I think we might even have a free enterprise showcase for one of them. So hopefully you can enjoy that and say hi from us.
Have a great rest of your night, everyone.
Yeah, so for me, I'm Oregon Mike. Angie Dave has been with me doing commentary. Rowdy Sniper was our tracker, and Antidale was restreaming for us. And so for all of us here at the Free Enterprise Workshop, thank you and good night.